All right, watched these videos already. I've been driving this just a little bit. It is working a lot better than I actually expected it to. No vibration from the misaligned rear axle, but anyway, I assume the faster I go, the more it will act up. But so far, 45 miles an hour, no vibration at all. It is wildly out of alignment. Kind of wants to shift around the whole time you're going down the road. This left rear wheel was cocked way out, and camber situation was wrong also. So I am doing just kind of like a preliminary home alignment so that I can run it around a little bit more and don't have to get it to an alignment shop, because really I'm going to wind up pulling this thing apart again to finish it, and there's really no point in aligning it right now other than wanting it to drive a little better. But I just want to throw away the money on the alignment right now. So what I'm doing is got this nice straight edge right here. That's the replacement rocker that's part of the tube chassis, and I'm taking a long level, putting it across the wheel. Fortunately, it touches down very nicely, both sides. I hold it up, I run it up here, and I measure the distance from the rocker to the edge of the level at the front and the back, and I got them both the same now. So that does not do anything with the camber on the rear wheel, although that does change to some degree simply by moving the toe back and forth. But it's tracking straight, at least, with just the slightest bit of toe in, which I think is something that's good. I'm not sure about that, no alignment expert. So I've got this one done. I do have a digital level I could put on here and see what it's doing. I think I will do that. But in the meantime, I'll show you real quick what I've been doing to align this. So you've got your, see if you can see that. You've got, they basically look like washers, but they're oblong. They have little marks on them. And when you turn the bolt there on the inner part of the control arm, it moves the control arm back and forth to the inside or outside of the car. The uppers are not adjustable at all, as far as I can tell. So everything's got to take place on the lowers. So I've got these two done. I'm going to do the other one in just a minute here. I think I'll throw the, and by the way, I have it on stands also to try and get it close at least to the same compression as if it were sitting on the ground. And it probably isn't quite the same because you don't have as much leverage here as you do here. So it's probably going to squat a little bit more once I put it back on the ground. But anyway, for what I need right now, that's close enough. All right, so let's check the digital level and see how that wheel is. Okay, so I have my digital level. It's called a Smart Tool. And just to have something that's going to span the wheel, I use this level just to basically as a stick. Put it on the side here. And I'm at 89.9. So just the slightest bit of negative camber, which I guess is good as well. And I try and make the other side just the same as this side. So I'll move to the other side. Okay, so the first measurement that I made on this was to measure from a certain point on the back of the tire to the same point on the front of the tires. And I just picked a nice flat spot in one of the tread grooves. Again, not an exact thing. I'm just trying not to throw away $70 or more to align this temporarily. So it had toe out, meaning the rear wheels were, the fronts of them were further apart than the backs were by about ½ inch, so way too much. So I'm going to go ahead and align this as best I can. and then go back with the tape measure and measure that distance again and see if what I'd like is about a 1/4 inch toe in. This one appeared to be a lot straighter than the other side, so let's see how it looks. So I'm going to hold the level again against the rear wheel, tuck it up under the rocker, and I've got 1 5/8" in the front and 1 and ever so slightly more than 5/8" in the back. So that is actually pretty good. See how the camber is on it. Sorry for the poor lighting, but why should today be different than any other day, right? Alright. And I know there's a lot of variables in this. Is the ground level, all that kind of thing. Alright, so I'm at 87, oops, there we go. 87.8. So this wheel could actually stand to be a little bit more upright. And being that it's already correct this way, I would need to bring the bottom on both sides in just a little bit to bring it up like that. Okay, so a couple of 7/16 wrenches. And I'll just make a couple of small changes here. Not sure you can see that because I have no viewfinder on this camera. This is my best guess. By the way, the flap, I don't know if you can see this muffler, the Duramax. I'm sorry, not Duramax, it's a diesel engine. Dynamax VT, I think is what that says. Has a flapper in there that helps keep it a lot quieter at idle. And it actually does work pretty well. Below about 2,000 RPM, it makes a big difference. But then when you get on it, it really makes a lot of good noise. Good God. Okay, so okay, move that just a little bit. Bring it back. Okay. Right. Editing, right? Let's try another angle here. You probably still can't see anything, but let's see. Okay, so this one needs to go clockwise. It's a tight fit. Okay, I'm going to check this again on the rocker real quick before I tighten that up. Trust me, I'm doing it. Okay, let's see. Our toe end's pretty decent right there. I think I'm going to go ahead and just tighten it up at this point. So that should at least be a great improvement over what it was. Camber is all right, 89.7, so I'm doing really well there. That's very close to the other side. I think that's as good as it's going to get for now, and it should make a big difference in the way it drives. And then I'll just do a something similar on the front. More concerned about toe in up there, so I'll measure that next. Okay, I measured the back. It's 38 5/8. approximately the same spot on the tire. All right, we are at 39, so I've got too much toe out. And out of curiosity, let's see how much camber I have. Again, the upright position of the wheel tire. That's too big. All right, that'll fit. Okay. I've got slightly more than 1 degree of negative camber, which on the front is actually pretty good. And this side, right at 1 degree. So those are really close. All right, so I just need to bring the front end in. And the front's pretty simple. Got my rack and pinion here. There are boots that go on here, but I'm going to wait to put those on until I finish welding everything so I don't just burn holes in them. So essentially all I've got to do is loosen this jam nut and rotate with this machine section here with a wrench. Just turn it in just slightly. I've got, let's see, slightly more thread showing on this side, so I'll go ahead and do this one to turn this into it a little bit more. So that should be a real easy adjustment. Okay. Ooh, that's sharp. All right, 12 millimeter there. 19, sorry, loose. All right, I'm going to turn this in. Okay. Measure the front and the back again. All right, 39 and all right, 38 and 15/16. 38 and 7/8. All right, I'm going to call that done. Just a slight amount of toe in the front to tighten up these jam nuts. So again, all this is going to change because, like I mentioned before, I've already got a different arm for this replacement, and I have new tie rod ends also. So all these parts are going to change once I'm done with the car. Okay, that's it. Take it out for a ride. All right, well, that four-wheel alignment seems to have worked really well. This has a real quick steering box in it, and even at highway speeds, it wasn't twitchy at all. Very happy with that. It's not perfect, but it's a huge improvement over what it was. This is the longest I've driven it so far. The temperature did start to climb. I have almost no airflow in the front, but it is open, so air can get in. The fan did not come on, but I got up to 213 degrees, I think it was. Just looked it up. The fan doesn't actually come on until 223. So I'm not sure if it's supposed to run that hot, and it's purposely running that hot. But anyway, once I get a little more airflow, I may wind up putting an override switch on the fan just to make it come on when I want it on. But mostly done. Trying to eliminate all the little things that would be ticket worthy. Fortunately, in this state, you are not required to have a windshield as long as you have eye protection, and I wear glasses, so I have eye protection. And it further goes on to state that you don't need windshield wipers if you don't have a windshield, but if you have a windshield, you have to have windshield wipers. So that's pretty cool. It works out for me. I really don't want to put the windshield in yet because I still have so much body work to do. Put the floor in. I'm going to take all the paint down here. I'd like to get the whole thing painted properly before I start putting it back together, which means pretty much taking the whole thing apart again to finish it up. I did go ahead and put the passenger seat in for now. It's a little tight. Taking it to a car show tonight. Got the hubcaps that have the fake white walls built into them. These are chrome plastic, and with all the humidity here, even in the box, I noticed the one on top actually, the one on top is actually a little bit corroded already. That sucks, but what you gonna do? What else did I get done? Okay, mirrors, hubcaps, did the four-wheel alignment, as you know. Got the electric fan going the proper direction, and neatened up the wire just a little bit. That's about it. So got it ready. Gonna take it to the car show.
I see the steering wheel.